It's worth $1.5 million, weighs 20,000 pounds, can withstand chemical warfare, and even comes equipped with a fridge full of the president's own blood. Known appropriately as the Beast, the latest addition to presidential limo history is decked out with more unique characteristics and countermeasures than we could ever imagine. Each feature is deliberately aimed at keeping the president safe and secure, allowing him to rapidly evade danger during an attack. From tear gas dispensers to nuclear missile launchers, electrified door handles, and walls as thick as that of a 747, in reality, this limo is an indestructible army tank in disguise. Let's kick this off with a bang, literally. Yes, the new Beast is jam-packed with all sorts of defensive mechanisms, but it's also capable of dealing out its fair share of destruction. The best defense is a good offense, and that case couldn't be more true in the form of this stretched version of a Cadillac XT6 sedan. The Beast collection of weaponry is intense, including its very own front-mounted cannon, which can launch projectiles, even tear gas, should the motorcade find itself in a sticky situation. While we'll almost certainly never see the Beast launching a tear gas canister without provocation, in practical terms, it's designed to disperse angry mobs or violent individuals should they start to get too close to the car. If the situation gets more threatening, if it all gets a little too out of control, and we're not joking here, in the front seats you'll find a pump-action shotgun. As we skirt around from the hood to the trunk of the car, you'll find another pile of tear gas canisters, as well as a fire extinguisher and other fire-preventing tools. Evidently, the Beast is fully equipped with the means to put up a fight. To be combative and cause harm in the name of self-defense is, of course, an absolute last resort. The Beast, otherwise known as Cadillac One, has a unique and extremely strong first line of defense, which is more than enough to deter and neutralize any potential threat against the nation's leader. In what seems like a list of ideas from a James Bond film, the presidential limo is stacked to the brim with state-of-the-art systems. We're talking night vision to detect threats in the darkest of environments, smoke screens to create confusion and distraction, allowing for a quick getaway, and perhaps most 007 worthy, the ability to lay down an oil slick, sending chasing vehicles spinning wildly out of control. The cabin can also be completely sealed with a mere push of a button to which only the president has access. If all of these tactics fail and the threat gets close enough to open the car door, the staff can electrify the door handles, sending a disarming shockwave through anyone who might be trying to get inside. But if, and that's a big if, the Beast finds itself in unexpected combat and sustains damage, the Secret Service will be able to mobilize in rapid time. You see, this custom Cadillac is just one of a dozen in the White House collection. As you'd expect, just one of these bad boys is expensive enough. With 12, the costs soar drastically. The entire contract is estimated to be worth $15.8 million, which, if you ask the government, is a small price to pay to keep one of the world's most powerful people safe. But if something does go wrong, or on the flip side, if the president decides out of the blue that he just needs to chow down on a cheeseburger or two, his limo is fitted with the most advanced communications equipment. Inside the car's main cabin, where you'll typically find the president sitting with a few of his guests or direct staff, there's a phone. This isn't just working on your regular AT&T network. The phone operates via satellite, offering direct access to call either the Pentagon or the Vice President. So in case of an emergency, there will always be means of contact available. The list of elite communications technologies doesn't end there. Among other things, Cadillac One offers the unique ability to dispatch codes which, frighteningly, can launch nuclear weapons. Gee, wouldn't want to press the wrong button. The build of the car itself, the build of the mobile bunker, features only the strongest and sturdiest materials. The body of the car is made up of impenetrable 5-inch thick armor, a mesh of steel, aluminum, ceramic, and titanium. In spaces where ordinary cars would be most exposed, like where the door meets the car frame or where panels join together, the Beast is completely secure. A lining of steel reinforces any gaps, ensuring that nothing can get in or out. When the doors are closed, they form a 100% seal to protect the occupants in the events of a chemical attack. The undercarriage is protected too, made of reinforced steel with additional steel plates for yet another layer of defense. The chassis is ready to withstand any land-based explosions. Oh, and so is the fuel tank. The car can deploy a special foam that will prevent the tank from exploding in the event of any damage. The latest version of the Beast was commissioned by the Secret Service in 2018. However, this isn't the first of its kind. The inaugural Beast hit the road during the Obama administration. A custom Cadillac DTS introduced in 2009. It had a visibly imposing stance, was much heavier than its predecessor, and came with Kevlar-reinforced heavy-duty tires, which are usually found on trucks. Before the Beast came into effect, President Bill Clinton was using a 1993 Cadillac Fleetwood as his presidential state car, while President Reagan operated inside a modified 22-foot-long 1972 Lincoln Continental, all customized with the best protection equipment available at the time, of course. 2 decades earlier, in 1961, President John F. Kennedy took the helm inside that famous dark blue 1961 Lincoln Continental. It cost almost $200,000 at the time, deliberately kept as a convertible car. While this made him more visible to the public, increasing his relatability, unfortunately, it also made him an easier target. Tragically, as we all know, it was that convertible that played a critical role in his assassination. Unwilling to allow a similar event, the White House and Secret Service have learned their lesson. Presidential protection is of unwavering importance now, always, and forever. But let's turn our attention back to the modern-day Beast, the one which Donald Trump regularly uses. While the chassis of this car is something to marvel at, the windows deserve a special mention of their own. The ultra-tinted 5-inch thick windows are each made of a combination bulletproof glass rock-solid polycarbonate. But these windows don't operate in your traditional sense. In fact, they don't even roll down. It makes sense when you think about it. If you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on unbreakable glass, you wouldn't want to override the life-saving protection by having the windows rolled down to feel the breeze flowing through your hair. With these measures in place, the doors are as heavy as those of a 757 jet. What sets today's Beast apart from its numerous predecessors, on top of its insane defense characteristics, is that it can temporarily act as an ambulance. The rear seats are fitted with their own supply of oxygen. This has a multi-dimensional benefit. In a case of chemical or biological threats outside the car, the president and driver can hook up to the inbuilt oxygen. Or if the president is having an unrelated health crisis, the oxygen inside will last long enough to get him to the nearest hospital for treatment. In more extreme circumstances, should a transfusion be needed, the Beast also comes with a fridge, not full of Diet Cokes, but full of ready-to-use blood which matches the president's own blood type. Who would administer such treatment? Well, the hospital on wheels comes with its very own doctor, too. A country is only as strong as its president, and when you're the president of the most powerful country on Earth, every waking moment is a potential threat. In the event of an attack, every second is crucial, which is why there's always a medical professional on site. When the president travels, the doctor rides in a limousine near the head of the motorcade. But there's only so much a doctor can do in a customized car, which is exactly why the Presidential Protection Division ensures that the motorcade is never in excess of 10 minutes away from a trauma center. It was this mandate that saved former President Ronald Reagan in the assassination attempt of 1981. For most of us, a flat tire is annoying, but for the president, it can be the difference between life or death. Getting stuck in the wrong neighborhood spells trouble, and if we run out of gas on the side of the freeway, ooh boy, game over. But not for the president, and not when he's riding in the Beast. The car sits on what are known as run-flat tires. A lot of Mercedes and BMW owners have come to love this feature because it allows for driving to continue even if there's a puncture. But let's be honest, when the tires are also reinforced with Kevlar and built to heavy-duty truck standards, a puncture is far from likely. We've spoken a lot about Cadillac One, but it's important to realize that presidential transportation extends much further than just one car. The presidential motorcade typically features between 16 and 20 different main vehicles, all specialized. For that reason, the motorcade needs to be transported to the destination city before the president arrives in Air Force One, which, by the way, costs over $200,000 an hour to operate. To do so, the Air Force sticks the motorcade vehicles inside heavy transport cargo planes, such as this C-17. While the formation changes depending on a number of factors, generally the presidential convoy is made up of the following components. The route car, which drives minutes ahead of the pack, checking the route and providing guidance. The sweepers, usually being local police cars or motorcycles. The lead, the stagecoach, which is the car carrying the president. And the spares. The spares look identical to the stagecoach, often swapping positions in the motorcade, which aims to confuse any potential threats. Not to mention the helicopter watching it all from above. All up, thousands of dollars of fuel are being used every hour, with millions of taxpayer dollars going toward the motorcade's upkeep and transport. Oh, and just because the sirens are blaring and the presidential limousines are in motion, the president isn't necessarily inside one of them. It could be a cunning art of distraction. If, however, he is present, then you can bet your bottom dollar that there will be at least a couple of Secret Service members in the limo with him. These expertly trained guards are the last line of defense, equipped with a variety of light weapons that could take down any aggressor in an instant.